Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to Hanna, Indiana, our multiplayer series with the Farm Sim guy. Well, today we are actually without the Farm Sim guy. He is off and enjoying himself somewhere and has left us to the farm on our own, which is actually quite good timing because the task we have today is to tackle the weeds here in the soybeans, and we do only have the one sprayer. So it really is only a one-person job, so it actually works out quite well to give him a week off, and we'll jump in here and spend a little bit of time spraying. Now, we did mention last time that we were going to go and have a change of sprayer. Let's go have a look at it over here. This is the John Deere 4630 from LR Modding. Have a look there. Farm Sim Guide did a 4830, get the number right, Argsy. Farm Sim Guide did a fantastic review of this, along with some other new mods coming from LR Modding very soon. He's been gracious enough to allow us to use it here on Hanna, Indiana. So we've installed it. We've got it set up here on these row crop tracks, probably for want of a better description, and we're going to have a go in that. Now it's got about a 3,500 litre tank, so a little bit smaller than the Patriot we did have, but the boom width is very much the same. So we'll get that filled up. We do have already the truck over here with the spray tender on the back. It has got some herbicide in it. I'll just have a quick look. It'll probably tell us how much we have in there when we get close enough. No, let's just jump in the trailer. It did, there we go. 11,000 litres of herbicide sitting up in there in the trailer, so that should be enough to spray these 3 fields. And there we are, just taking a look on the map. You can quite clearly see across 20, 21 and 22 is where all our weeds are. So we're going to jump in and get going on those. So I think, nothing better, we'll jump in here. I think we better turn the pump on. I think we hop into the truck, hop up into here, we'll get the truck turned on. And I do believe we can turn the spray pump on the back there. You can hear that little pump's just started up. And then we can run that over. So I think we bring the sprayer over next to it, and then we'll hop back into the truck, and we should be able to transfer between the trailer into the sprayer. And there we go, we've got the overloading herbicide option now that we've got the sprayer parked right next to us. So we just press the button there, you can see the herbicide is going down in the truck, and it must be going into the sprayer because it wouldn't be going anywhere else. So there you go, that is all done. So we'll probably be able to turn the truck off now. That is off, and we should be able to hop back into the sprayer, and it should have a full tank of herbicide in there, ready to go and spray some weeds. And there we go, 3,781 litres there in the back of the sprayer. So, let's head on over. We're going to start on these 2 small fields, I think. This one and the one over the other side. We'll see how far we can get with just the one tank. Now, I do like, we did mention it last time, but these are row textures here with the soybeans. It's quite nice having them actually planted in a proper row rather than how they might normally be planted in base game. There we are, nice little animation getting the sprayer all unfolded. Now we do have the see and spray technology installed on this. It looks like we might have to move over actually. We're probably a little bit close to those trees now that we've got the boom all unfolded. We just have to carefully, without hitting anything, try and manoeuvre this over just a little bit further away from the trees. Just get in the right spot. There we go, that looks a little bit better, probably along a row there. How does that line up? That looks much better. So we should get the see and spray technology, which will only spray the weeds, not across the whole field. So we'll get that turned on. Press play, and there we are. We're heading out along the rows, and we're actually using up some herbicide, which is nice. It makes a change from what the issues we were having with the Patriot is. So you can see there, we are getting everything all killed off. The weeds are all turning to a nice shade of dead, and we're racing through here getting this all done. So I think there's nothing left to do but to jump into a little bit of a time lapse here in these small fields, and we'll put something together for that. We'll touch base probably when we're about halfway through. We'll see how we're going with the herbicide. We might have to refill, we might not. Doesn't look like at this rate. We've made it all the way down the end here and barely used any herbicide. So we'll see, we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll catch up with you when we're about halfway through the fields. Unsurprisingly, that has gone incredibly fast, and we have only used up about a quarter of the tank here, so we're certainly going to have enough without having to refill to get through on the other field as well. But there we are, we're done in these two. Just a little bit here, just back down here where we first set up the rows for the GPS, and also over in the other field there's a very narrow little strip between the headland pass and the first row we did, where the GPS didn't quite line up, so we'll go and get that done as well. Now I was hoping we could have used the flex in the arms to try and lift the boom up over the top of the pivot, but that was not to be the case, as you would have seen there. So we'll just have to fold things up and unfold them again. Fortunately, not too long. It doesn't take too long to unfold and fold up. So we'll get that done, go and finish off this little bit, and then we might just stop in at the yard for a minute, and we'll just catch up again then. Well, first two fields done, and I am incredibly impressed with the machine. It does what it says it would do, and it does it very well. Very comfortable up here on top of these tracks, and I do like the row crops. They look really, really good, and the tracks just look fantastic. Gives good clearance as well, so you can imagine if you're going through some corn that was almost, shoulder high, looking at where I'm standing, it's almost above my head, you wouldn't go through and damage any. So that's very good. Now I was going to show you as well the options in the store for when this is available, how you can configure it. Oh, hang on, that's my phone, just give me a second. Well, I knew you'd give him the weekend away, but he didn't have to go and rub it in his face. Look at him sitting there on the side of the slopes like he's a movie star. Probably he's trying to pretend that he's in the next action movie that Jason Statham's going to be in. Can't fool us though, mate, can't fool us. Looks like you're having a good time though, so I won't hold it too much against you. We're just going to carry on in the sprayer here, enjoying ourselves. There we go, sorry about that rude little interruption from FSG. He obviously knew what time we were going to be on the server doing this, and he just thought he'd tease us with what he is doing at the moment. But let's go and have a look in the shop and check out the setup on this thing. So the first thing you notice is it is incredibly cheap, $99,500. Now that'll go up depending on your settings and how you configure it, but if we just jump back, compare it here to the 4045, which is by Northwest Mods and Edits, $250,000. Got the 4940 self-propelled sprayer from Custom Modding, 195 grand, and then you've got to pay another 80 or 90 to get the spray. There you go, $85,000 to get the spray attachment on it. So at 99.5 grand, it is a pretty affordable machine. Now just having a look at the setup, there's a number of different options on tyres. I'm not going to go through them all, but road chops, singles, duals, mix of tyres and tracks there as well. And then we've got the option there just for the tracks. You can put a weight on the front if you want. Not sure exactly why you might. Maybe to even out compaction when you've got the full tank there on the back. Option to add a Starfire receiver or not on the roof. You can put the foam markers on the outside of the boom, whether you're using those or not. Options for beacon, yes or no. You can put fenders on. Obviously they don't work with the row crop there, with the tracks. That is purely for wheels, but we'll turn those off. Now you've got option there for Isaria support, and that just adds that little aerial up there on the top corner of the cab. You can change the tint on the glass, go for a couple of darker options. And then you've got the couple of expensive options. You can put the Isaria Pro Compact on, and that will help with analysing your nitrogen demand if you're using this for applying fertiliser. And then there's the See and Spray technology, which we've obviously added on, which was another $40,000, along with GPS. So when we actually traded in, I think the Patriot we sold was $187,000. This fully configured to the options we wanted was $192,000. So it cost us $5 grand extra on the current configuration, or what our current sprayer was. So there we are, very nice looking machine. Anyhow, enough of that interruption. Let's jump back in it, stop talking about it, go and enjoy it some more, and we'll go get the other field sprayed. So we'll get the boom unfolded in here. Again, not too many weeds in this one. We should probably go through maybe another 25% of the tank. Get it down to about half full, I would expect. But there we go, that is all unfolded. It's going to lower down to move over just a touch to get towards the edge of the field. We went too far off, but I might back into the trees and just make sure we get right into the corner here. And make sure we don't leave any weeds behind. We'll maximise the yield we can on these soybeans. So there we are, that all turned on, up and running, and I think we're looking pretty good down this edge. We're looking pretty good. So I think we're going to set ourselves up another GPS course and just get into this field. Now we'll just put together a little montage here of the spraying. So it's going to be a very, very time-lapse and montage heavy video, and probably a little bit of a short one. There's not too much to do on the farm at the moment, but it is good to get this done and make sure we're going to have the best yield possible on these soybeans. So we'll jump into it and catch you when we're done. We've just got the last little half pass here left to do, just the right hand side of the sprayer, and I wasn't far off guessing we'd have about 50% left, just under 48. So not far wrong. Now I wonder, I've noticed that this sprayer, you'll see, we don't actually get a spray effect on those weeds there, but if I slow right down as we go through this one here, I'm not going to get it now, but you can see, there we go, we do get a spray effect. So I actually wonder if we're not going too fast, the server, the lag, the ping we have to the server doesn't have enough time to animate and ping that animation. And I wonder if that is what has caused some of the issues on other sprayers, because we are running at quite a high speed there when we're doing the spraying. And I wonder if that's it. Could justify it, might not. But that might explain some of the issues we have been having. In fact, I've missed a little bit there. We're going to unfold and make sure we go and get this little piece just here as well. And then we'll be all done. Now this has been incredibly fast. We've been recording this episode for 43 minutes, so it hasn't taken very long to get through this at all. But we'll go get this all parked up, put away. We'll move the spray trailer out of the way as well, because we won't be needing this again now for a wee while. And we'll just take a quick look at where we're at in the farm and what we've got coming up in the next couple of episodes. We've just got the spray trailer parked in here next to the shed. We'll get that dropped off and we'll go and put the Mac back over in the shed. Now we've got a couple of tractors and a truck floating around outside on the yard, but we'll just leave those for now. I don't think we need to worry about putting them away. They'll be okay sitting out there. It is, I would say it's a nice day at the moment, but is it just starting to rain? I could see some water there dropping on my screen. Go ahead and have a quick look. There's none on the forecast. If it was just a little bit of a graphical glitch there or not. I'd be worried if it was. Can't see any clouds in the sky that would be going to deliver us any rain at all. So fingers crossed it doesn't come, because we want that spray, that herbicide we've just put on the weeds while it has killed them. Obviously you'd want to let that sit in there and wouldn't want to wash it off too quickly. But there we are, we've got no weeds left in the field. And we've got an expected yield of 100%, 6.3 tonnes to the hectare. So that is looking pretty darn good. Now in terms of what's going on the farm, we've got fields 15, 32 and 33 all planted in corn, and they're going to be our next fields ready to harvest. And we're going to be putting a lot of that corn down in the feed mixer. Some we'll probably put in the bins actually, considering how little feed we've used for the hogs so far. But we do want to actually get a whole lot more pigs, and they should be close to breeding very, very soon. So all that corn is coming up soon to harvest. This is the soybeans, 2021 and 22 we've just sprayed. They will be a little bit later on after the corn, I think. And then we've got fields 12 and 31, which is where our canola was, which we harvested, which are both ready to be cultivated and prepared. Just taking a look here, we do have the option to plant canola again. We've got wheat and barley there as well. We could put in as winter crops, potentially to set ourselves up for putting some other soybeans or something again. Maybe we could look at doing some wheat or barley again to pick into that June window. So that might be something we try and do before the end of the year, before winter comes as well. But there we go, just looking at our harvesting time frame. Corn is starting in October, and soybeans there October through to November, so not too far away from getting into those. And then just taking a quick look here at our products. We've got the barley there, 680,000 litres of barley, $250,000 more or less, and the canola as well, 480,000 litres with 350,000, so almost $700,000 worth of product sitting there, which is a nice little thing to have sitting in the kitty. Of course, we'll get the corn and the soybeans very soon as well, and that is going to go onto that debt. Now, I know we haven't had a look at the pigs for a wee while. We've still got the 120 we started off with. They are nice and healthy, 100% reproduction, up to 50%, so they're getting closer and closer to providing us some with piglets. We gave them, I think, about 28,000 litres of food, and we've still got 10,000 litres there. So they haven't chewed through that too quickly, which hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get to our corn and get some more food made before they run out. Otherwise, we're going to have to look at trying to buy some in. And we are getting some slurry, 39,000 litres of slurry. So we may have to look at what we do with that. I don't think there's any option to sell it in and around Hanna at the moment, so we may have to look at whether we can get some equipment in to apply it onto our fields. So there we go, plenty still to come up here on Hanna, Indiana with the Farm Sim guy. Not sure if he's back next week. We might have a couple of weeks before we get another episode in here. But if that's the case, our next task is probably going to be getting that corn harvested. We're not too far away from having that ready to go, as we just looked at, in a couple more weeks of time and growing. It should just about be ready to go. So, as always, hope you have enjoyed that episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.